Good evening, ladies, Jennifers, and my lovely NBs. We're here live in Montana at Charter State Arena, here for game 2 of the FBA Finals, where the leading Montana Howlers are going up against the Tennessee Moonshiners. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, dude?
Doing great. We're here in game two. A bit of a, I don't want to call it a blowout, but a 20-point game going in the favor of Montana. Game one, you have to wonder here, what changes has Tennessee made since the last game to provide more of a competitive effort? Tennessee has lived by getting early games on the road and taking the home court advantage away from the higher seed. And this, they can't really afford to go into their two-game homestand down 0-2. That's not something they've really had to deal with too much in this series.
Yeah, for sure. During their entire run, they were able to take at least one of the two road games in the early goings, but for how well Montana was able to play in the first game, there might be a little bit of worry that they're not able to get it done. But even with it, there are some positives within a game like that, and one of them has to be Arthur Selby being able to score 40 points in game number one, and that is just something that really could excite you. It's just that he needs to have his teammates, more specifically guys like River and Kierkegaard, really to step up to really kind of challenge the bigs of the Howlers.
Yeah, and I mean, Kierkegaard I've talked about is going to be last game such a important factor in this series going forward. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Jackalope to be a defensive anchor, and we saw last game. I think he had 3 or 4 blocks before the game wrapped up, and River has the experience, but he needs to step up offensively. Really getting the baskets to fall. Aldrich needs to be a bit more consistent. Can't afford to give up the ball in the turnovers because turnovers really killed the momentum in game number one for the Moonshiners. Whereas the Howlers, they are coming into game two obviously feeling uh, accomplished with having such a strong win in game one, but they can't afford to get cocky here because the game one win might be a bit of a trap for them if Tennessee is able to come in and sweep one away from them.
That is 100% the case because they got to remember that the Moonshine, as we said, the Moonshiners has been able to get at least one of the first two games. So they are not someone to be trifled with, especially when it comes to a team who is heavily favored like the Howlers. They've been able to surprise people here, and they're planning to do so again as we are seeing both teams starting to line up.
Yes, heading down to the court now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get game number two started as we do see the Tennessee Moonshiners winning the tip off this time. As we go ahead and get game number two started, as Burger Kane has the rock, who hands it over to River. River almost losing the ball there as he does able to pick it up. He's done the pass it up to somebody, but instead tries to drive into the paint. It gets fouled there by St. Croix.
That might be the most flustered I've ever seen River, as he played patty cake with the ball, dancing in a circle pretty much, trying to get the ball back under control as it was almost stripped there. At least he
Yeah,
got the foul, but missed the first opportunity at the free throw line.
yeah, that first miss is not something you really want to see from River. As he said, he's going to play a pretty big role in the paint, and that kind of goes to show as he missed both of them as they ended up coming empty-handed in that first possession, as the Howlers have a chance to be able to make the first punch here after that blunder from Tennessee.
Yeah, that's not the right hoof that River wanted to step into this game on. 2 missed free throws. Maybe just a bit flustered after nearly turning the ball over. Needs to maybe get an easy basket for himself to make sure he's feeling it here. See if they go to him in this
Yeah, and right,
possession.
yep, both teams not able to be able to score on their first possession. We'll see if River is able to go ahead and clean things back up as he does make the first basket. So that's something that we're more accustomed to seeing.
not just that, using his big body to bully the defender out of his way. And I mean, who cares if you can't make it from 10 feet out? If you can make it from 2 feet, you have a career in this league.
That is 100% the case, as we do see another quick score by Lavoy Williams. As we said last game, 40 points. Well, excuse me, 32 points, excuse me. That was, he was pretty much being the main star for the Howlers, as we get to see another stop there for them, as Lavoy Williams still trying to continue where he left off from game one, but instead ditches over to Williamson.
Yeah, Lavoy is going to be interesting to see if they figured out how to contain the Kangaroo, if they managed to figure out how to reduce the effect of them. But Williamson, a 3 there already early in this game.
Yeah, an early 3, as they're now up by 3 with that 3-pointer, 5-2 within the first 2 minutes, now in the books. We'll see if Tennessee's able to respond here, as River getting guarded very well so far. He has no choice but to dish to Burger King. Burger King almost loses the ball there, going for a tough 3, and it hits the side of the rim, but River tips it in, as they're now only down by 1. So River having a great start so far in the opening possessions of this game.
Well, it's been a mixed bag. 2 missed free throws and blocked, but then able to convert 2 baskets, one of them being a second chance opportunity. I mean, that is great hustle play coming out from the Deers, getting into the paint and getting an opportunity to clean up that miss. But it's going to be Aldrich to bring Tennessee ahead. 1-point lead here for them off his first basket.
Yeah, and right now, Lavoy Williams able to dunk it over and one up right there, as Burger King draws the foul. So Lavoy Williams will have a chance for an old school 3-point play with that vicious dunk. Lavoy not seeming to calm anything down so far, as he's able to go ahead and see if he can send this lead up to 2 with this free throw.
Yeah, and it's going to be seeing how the answer to Lavoy in this game. And I think Lucas Burger King going to have to really tighten down. Obviously, one of the better defenders on the team, and that's kind of where he excels. But, Birdie has a little bit more speed, and I think that might be a factor that he's going to struggle with. And he's going to have to use his size to his advantage to really box Birdie out. But it's going to be Aldrich, the cat, driving to the basket and laying it in with the finger roll.
Yeah, right now between him and River, they have been the majority of the offense, not having to rely on Selby that much, which is honestly something that's good to see a little bit, because Selby was really the only one being the offensive juggernaut for the Moonshiners, as Williamson goes for the mid-ranger, and he is able to get it down as the shot clock hits to 0. So Williamson now brings the lead up to 2.
Yeah, and that's 5 points for him so far. And honestly, great heads-up play from Cross, realizing, okay, I just got blocked. Aldrich is probably going to stuff me again, and able to keep a good awareness and see the Wallaby open for that mid-range shot. And, the ball stripped.
Ooh.
Williamson.
Yeah, but Creer doing a great job trying to lose, but Lavoy Williams takes the ball. He's going to have a chance for break points, and Burger King had no choice but to foul Lavoy Williams. So he will go on the line for 2 to possibly extend this lead. Yes, he will be able to get the first one down. So far, Burger King is going to get subbed out, it looks like, as he is having a little bit of struggle here going up against Lavoy Williams.
Yeah,
but the second one is going to get missed.
2 quick fouls, but you almost feel like that may be what the kind of mindset they've gone in with here is, Burger King can be a bit more aggressive on defense. They have the rookie Roy Bivens, and they have the second-year player Elijah Weber.
Ooh,
out of bounds and turnover. But I was saying that they have 3 small forward, power forwards that could possibly keep the pressure and just afford giving up fouls just to keep Birdie a little off kilter.
Yeah, but the big thing right now is obviously the turnovers. The turnovers was such a huge issue for the Moonshiners in game 1, but it seems like that's still going to be the case in the early goings of the game. But they are able to get a stop there defensively. So we'll see if River is able to try and cut this deficit down back to a 1-point game, as River going for a tough shot, and he's able to get it down. So a little rocky start in the first couple of minutes, but River has been able to come into his own as he has scored a majority of the points. And as I say that, Lavoy Williams has a chance to go for 2 more free throws.
And I mean, here's the thing I've said about River, and both of his finals appearances, one of which was in his second year, and then the second one was in his third year. He has been a steady rock for both teams as they made their way through the championship. He doesn't really show frustration that easily, and he doesn't celebrate either. He's not going to pump you up, but he is going to be the steady force that keeps the team on track. As we see a fadeaway there from River.
Yeah, River's starting to really come alive for the Moonshiners, where last game it was Selby. I imagine if Selby starts picking things up, it could get really dangerous here um, for the Howlers are not able to contain both of them. But right now, you do see that Lavoy Williams trying to go for a quick drive as he goes for a mid-ranger, and it's not going to be good there as Kierkegaard does get the rebound.
Yeah, and I mean, good thing is actually probably keeping Selby on the back burner a little bit here is probably for the best in terms of his physical conditioning. I mean, he put so much effort into the last game that you have to imagine, even with the day off, he's probably still a little exhausted.
Oh, and we get a nice block there for Lavoy Williams as Lavoy got a little bit of space going to Williamson, but gets blocked there by Kierkegaard, and that's pretty much the X factor, doing what he has to do to go ahead and get that defensive stop. And River with a causing mistake there as Lavoy's able to intercept that pass, and Williamson wide open for 3, and it hits the side of the rim. Moonshiner's got a really good break there as Williamson made the rare miss, and Kierkegaard able to get the alley-oop layup to get the lead to the Shiners. Very fast pace so far in the early goings of this game.
Yeah, but you have to be careful. That's where the turnovers, we're seeing them slip in, is this high-speed play. The main turnovers have either been right as the shot clock was winding down or early in the possession as they're being a little too aggressive. And, Montana finding themselves down by 1, calling timeout just to get a little bit of a adjustment, maybe bringing in some bench players, which is another area that we have to see if Tennessee makes an adjustment. They really did not do well in that second quarter, in part due to their bench struggling to find any baskets.
100% as we get a quick layup, and it's not going to be good there as Tennessee has a chance to extend this lead as Adams tries to go for a finger roll. It's not going to go down, and Roth will be able to get the rebound. So Callum Williamson will be able to bring it up. Inyama trying to find a way to get the drive. Dishes it over to Blackburn. Blackburn for a long 2, and it rattles home.
Timberwolf able to extend his range a little bit, but left wide open.
Yeah, when you're left wide open like that, you want to take that shot as Lady Black trying to go for a mid-range, and she's able to get it down. Lady Black didn't have really the greatest game for game 1. So she's hoping to try and pick things back up, being the primary point guard for the second unit for the Shiners as Roth tries to lay it up, and it's not going to be good as Kierkegaard does get the rebound. And right now, Tennessee really doing very good on the glass. Already 10 rebounds so far in this game. As we get a quick steal there from Rendall. Rendall going for a pass over to Williamson, and Williamson dishes over to Yama, and Yama lays it up, and it's good.
That is some very unselfish play there from Montana. Mads had an opportunity for a shot, felt Callum had the better shot. Callum felt Yamashita had a better shot. In the end, the basket was converted off of 2 very good passes. As Rendall got to find an open lane, the rookie's going to dunk it down.
Yeah, now the crowd's starting to get really into it as they're now up by 3 after some great offensive efforts in those last 2 possessions. We'll see if Tennessee is able to respond to this. The last time this crowd got rowdy, the second unit got really flustered. We'll see if Lady Black tries to go into the paint but gets blocked there as the Moonshiners only have 5 seconds left of the shot clock. Some great defense there for the Howlers.
Yeah, Williamson, I think, probably excited. That's one of the few blocks he's going to get in the finals, I think, opportunity-wise. And, the Wallabies sending it out of bounds and putting the pressure on Tennessee now. And so substitutions as the rest of the starters, I think, got pulled.
Yeah, and Bivens not able to get it down, so Montana has a chance to extend this lead. And right now, Gunnarsson trying to do a finger roll. It is, well, but Whitelash does get the rebound. And now Adams hands over to Bivens. Bivens trying to lay it up, and it's not going to be good this time as Rendall gets the rebound. So right now, Tennessee might have to try and slow things down a little bit as Roth hands it over to Gunderson. Gunderson trying to go for the layup, but it gets blocked there by Whitelatch, I believe. So Tennessee, once again, doing very good defensively, but they got to find something on offense to get going as Adams going for a tough shot and one as Yamashita gets called for that foul.
Yeah, and one opportunity is able to convert. And, Whitelatch, the collie, was absolutely draping himself over the shooter last possession. And, Tennessee finds themselves tied, but now Montana's bringing in the big dog and the big bear to hold down the post. Is he Blackburn going to get an opportunity?
Ooh. Yeah, Blackburn giving the lead back over to Montana as they're now up by 2, and that's going to be the key here. How is Tennessee going to go up against the size that the Howlers have as they're not able to get that basket? And we do get to see that the turnover is going to be on the Howlers as their player was trying to get that ball but ends up stepping out of bounds. Might have been better to let that one go.
Yeah, Matt, I think, a little bit of a rookie mistake there. A little too focused on getting the ball and getting down to try and score a basket. Would have been better to let it go out of bounds. The Bird not realizing his momentum was going to carry him out as Black, just laying it up and in. Tennessee leading the way in field goal percentage early here.
Yeah, and right now, so far, you gotta like the start for the second unit, being able to stay on pace with the Howlers so far. But we'll see if they're able to get a defensive stop here as Blackburn looking to make it look way too easy against that much smaller defender, as Blackburn does bring the lead back up to 2.
Yeah, and I think with Blackburn and Dunbrock on the floor, it's just going to be a nightmare down the post for Tennessee. They're going to have to really clamp down on the perimeter defense as a great screen leaves it open. Able to make the basket there, tying it up again.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the main difference here. Even though they're not able to find any stops on the defensive end, they're still matching them up offensively, which could really pay dividends once the starters comes back. As we get a good, nice block there from Baptiste, and Baptiste is able to give the Shiners an opportunity to take this lead. And now Lady trying to get into the paint, trying to go for the quick drive, but it's not going to go down there. Some great defense there by Gunderson as Gunderson gets the rebound. Hands over to Dunbrook, and Dunbrook dunks it in. Ooh. So right now, Montana really just doing everything they can to make sure that Tennessee doesn't take any sort of lead whatsoever. But Tennessee is not going to go down without a fight here as Baptiste with the rock, looking for some kind of opening as he does pass it over to Adams, and Adams is not going to get it down there as we're now with the final possession going over to the Howlers. We'll see if they extend this lead here as Yamashita going for a step back, and it's not going to be good here. So Montana at the end of 1 will be up by 2, 25-23.
Yeah, the bench has been holding it together much better than game 1 for Tennessee, not only defensively but offensively. It's going to be interesting to see as the second quarter starts if they can continue this momentum. They've clearly made some adjustments to how they want to play. Now it's just a question of will Montana be able to make some changes themselves, or they're going to have to rely on their starters, and Yamashita already blocked on the first possession.
Yeah, so great defense there, but Yamashita will be able to draw the foul against Savoy. So Yamashita will be going on the line for 2. First one is going to go down, so they will extend this lead to a 3-point game. And the second one does go down, so Montana is now up by 2 possessions, 27-23 at the start of the second quarter. We'll see if Tennessee is able to answer back with a shot with a basket of their own, as Savoy is able to get into the paint with that drive and lay it up and in. Right now, both of these teams really showing a lot of grit between the two, as Rendall able to get the quick pass and lay it in.
Yeah, besides that turnover from the rookie, he's playing well here tonight. And, again, we talked about for Tennessee, their rookies finding themselves in this situation as, Black, too speedy for the defense, drives her way between them and lays it up and in before they realize she's there.
Yeah, Lady Black doing a very excellent job there with trying to get that open lane and taking the easy drive for the easy lay-in, as Brock trying to do the same thing, as he's able to draw the foul against Lady Black. This is something you really see a guard trying to go up and try to go after it, especially against a player like Dunbrock.
Yeah, no good on
But
the
first one, yeah, the first one is going to get missed, so Montana will only have an opportunity to get up to 3 points if this basket is made. And it is going to be the case, as Tennessee's only down by 3 so far, and honestly, I will say that is honestly the best thing for you, as with the second unit really doing a lot better compared to game 1. Right now, Savoy really doing a little bit of everything so far, being the main offensive player for the Moonshiners, along with Lady Black, as they did get a couple deficit down to 1 once again. But of course, Lavoy Williams is back on the floor, and you can imagine him probably making some kind of damage. Not able to get it done this time, as the Shiners has a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, and it feels like tonight, the defense has been a bit more aggressive on covering Williams and Lavoy Williams, and not letting him have those easy lanes to the basket we saw earlier in game 1. I have to see if they can keep that up as the game goes, or if Birdie can find a way into the game. And a big block there, but Cross, no one there. The defender went all the way into the back of the hoop and bounced off the board, the backboard support, and no one was there to cover Cross as she just put up a second chance opportunity.
Yeah, Cross doing an excellent job of being able to take things down, as right now, White Latch trying to look for somebody, and he's getting defended really well, but he doesn't have a lot of time left. He has to just throw one up there, and it's not going to be good there. Very stagnant possession there for the Moonshiners, and now Cross really doing well against her defender, and she's able to go ahead and lay it up and in. And now Montana is up by 5, 34-29, with just 9 minutes left of the first half. And so far, the crowd screaming defense, and we do get that defense there, but Dunbrock is going to get called for his first personal for that blocking foul.
Yeah, maybe a little too much defense there at Dunbrock, getting called for the contact. But again, I feel like Montana can afford to play chippy. As long as they spread it out across the rest of their team, they can, they have enough bigs, they have enough, post attackers to really go after them defensively, whereas, I don't think Kierkegaard has as much leeway.
Yeah, and Russell Savoy is able to make both of his free throws, so the deficit is now down to 3. As right now, Cross, she's trying to do everything she can, but it's not going to go down. Savoy does get the rebound, and Russell gets blocked there, and Sutter's able to pick it up. Sutter's going coast to coast, going for that layup, and it's going to be good. Sutter's with the huge effort there with that fast transition points. So now, Roy Creer looking at the screen, being able to get it. Doesn't have a lot of time left on the shot clock. Does end up passing it over to Burger King. Burger King trying to go for a shot of the open lane, but it gets collapsed and he's not able to get it down.
Yeah, Tennessee's starting to struggle a little bit here as Montana's putting on the pressure, but the defense is not, it's bending but not breaking for Tennessee right now.
Yeah, that's something you really want here, as Booker King got an open lane and lays it up, and it's in. So Kane able to go ahead and continue these, as we do see a lot of lead changes so far between both of them. 7, and the biggest lead so far has only been 5 on Montana's end. So right now, a very back and forth matchup between the two compared to what it was in game 1 at this point. As Savoy tries to lay it up, but gets fouled there by Craw. So Savoy will go on the line once again for 2 more to cut the deficit possibly down to 1.
Yeah, I think that's Sinqua's second foul as well. And they might make a substitution. I mean, giving up a third one wouldn't be the end of the world. But at the end of the day, you also don't really want to put your star. Nope, they're going to keep her, and they just want to bring the rest of the starters back in. Both teams now.
Yeah, and right now, Savoy not able to get the second one down, so Tennessee's only going to be down by 2. As you said, a lot of the starters for both sides are coming on the floor. As St. Croix deep behind the arc. As, well, I'm going to have to go for a tough mid-ranger, and it does rattle home. Right now, Riga doing a great job so far. As you get a quick block there from Craw, as it will still be Moonshiner's ball, but you got to give a lot of effort there for Craw, as she's able to just really make a lot of statements so far with that block.
Yeah, not just that, but, being able to do so on offense and then immediately turn around on defense and send River out of bounds like that. But, it's going to be Aldrich down low on the inbound. That's a tough shot to make with the defense right there.
Yeah, there were a lot of bodies in the paint, but it didn't really seem to matter, as Tennessee, once again, only down by 2. But they do need to get a stop here if they want a chance to tie things up, or perhaps take the lead, as Sutter's going for a mid-ranger. And it's not going to be good as Kierkegaard swoops in to get the rebound. And now Bivens looking to slow things down a little bit. Gets the screen from Kierkegaard. And right now, Bivens trying to find some kind of lane into the paint, but he is able to draw the foul against St. Croix, and that'll be her 3rd personal. So right now, Bivens is able to possibly tie the game with these 2 free throws, and he is going to do just that, as they're now 38 apiece as we tie it up once again.
Yeah, now the question is, okay, St. Croix, we're going to have 3 fouls on you, and you still have 6 minutes left to go in this half. If they can get a 4th one, we might actually see them make the tough choice of pulling her. But at the same time, she's been such a force on offense and defense. Yes, I've talked about Blackburn and Dunbrock's depth, but against Kierkegaard, you really do need the polar bear.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with you there, as we get the ball almost was lost, but Viva was able to pick it up and lay it up and in, and now the Moonshiners get their first lead since the first quarter. So now they're up by 2, 40-38. And so far, Tennessee is really holding up their own without having to rely on Selby, really. We haven't seen Selby do too much in this game so far.
Not at all. And I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a trying to pull some 4D chess from the Moonshiners' part, knowing that how much Selby's shown in the first game. Maybe they expected Montana to make adjustments to try and stop him. So they've been avoiding really incorporating him too much as the main focal point, and that's been letting everyone else find more openings.
Yeah, 100%. And Montana really slowing down a bit as the second quarter goes on. And right now, Tennessee is really trying to take advantage of that as Creer hands it over to Selby. Speaking of Selby, trying to go for the quick finger roll, but it's not going to go down this time, as now Montana has a chance to try and get the lead right back, and they will do that with Sutters getting a nice dish from Williams as he goes ahead and give the lead up to 42-40. Right now, Selby loses the ball here by Rob. Very uncharacteristic as Cross tries to lay it up, and it's not going to be good, but he will go on the line for 2 as Bivens gets a second personal for the game.
Yeah, the foul there. The rookie didn't really even get that much contact, but blocked the path of the basket and need to set his paws a little bit if he wanted to go for a charge. And we're going to see substitution both. Weber coming in, I believe. as Lady Black coming in for Tennessee.
Yeah, right now Cross is going to make the second one. So Montana once again up by 4, 44-40. It's been a very a tight-knit matchup as Vivens goes for 3. Not gonna get it down this time. So right now, Montana has a chance to extend the lead here if they're able to get a quick basket. And it is going to be the case as they are now up by 6.
That's all for Rendall, absolutely attacking the paint. You know, the rookie we saw in the during the rookie showcase, not afraid to drive the basket, and he's doing that even here in the finals. As Bivens, oh, the clarity to be able to
Ugh.
make that step back after being blocked. Such a difficult shot to make in that situation.
100%, and it really kind of goes to show how these how the Moonshiners has really shown a lot of like not giving up. But of course, as I say that, we get a nice dunk there from Cross as she was able to find an open lane right over to the basket. Some the Moonshiner is not going to is going to have to find a way to continue stepping on the gas as they try to go ahead and get another good shot there within the paint. As Bivens really doing a great job. 8 points so far into the game with his minutes.
And Tennessee, you know, I bonked off of
Oh,
Kierkegaard's head. I think a little miscommunication there, and you know, I think Kierkegaard might be a little dazed, but he's gonna be happy with a free possession now.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to make some sacrifices sometime when you're on the court. And sometimes using those analysts to good use. As Kierkegaard does get the layup and he does get the basket for his troubles. And now Tennessee, once again, only down by 2. We'll see how if they're able to get a defensive stop here as Cross tries to drive it, and it is going to be good. Cross doing a very, very good job here as she has 12 points so far with the 16 minutes that she has so far in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of see why she made the starting lineup of Montana and Black. Ooh, great use of a screen there, and that, you know, that's what we need to see more of. Black not necessarily able to beat her opponents in the vertical game, but definitely in the speed game, and all that screen does is give her that extra step that she needs to get an open look at the basket. Oh, big
Ooh.
battle there. Rendall going the line for 2.
Yeah, Rendall trying to go for that dunk here as Rendall does make the first basket. And he's not going to get the second one, though, as Baptiste does get the rebound. So, right now, Lady surveying the field, hands it over to Baptiste. Baptiste hands it over to Adams. And Adams trying to find a way to drive here as he goes for a mid-ranger, and it is going to be good there. So Tennessee only down by 1. And right now, both of these teams are going tooth and nail. And that's something that we would love to see between both of these teams is Yamashita trying to go ahead and get for this drive, lays it up, and it's not going to be good as White Latch gets the board. Adams having it over to Baptiste. Baptiste says he's to Burger King, but Burger King loses the ball to Williamson, and Williamson does able to take the turnover. So now Montana could possibly extend this up to 3 as Rendall having to go back a little bit. Hands over to Yamashita. Yamashita ends up to Blackburn. Blackburn going for the mid-range, and it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, honestly, what the score ends up as. Tennessee will have one chance to either tie it or get it back to 1. You know, Tennessee is in this game still, and that's the biggest takeaway, as Black for 3 is not able to convert.
Yeah, and that will be the end of the first half as the Howlets will be up by only 3, 53-50, as I gotta say, this is a much, much better game here for the Moonshiners as they are right in the thick of it with the Howlers.
Yeah, their bench I feel like has been far more involved this game, and I mean obviously Selby's been a bit cool tonight comparatively, but they've had the rest of the starters step up, obviously with River, Aldrich. But in the end of the day, it is such a close game that really it's been because of the steals from Montana, that those extra possessions that they've needed to have the lead here. And if Tennessee can clamp down on those turnovers, I feel like they can easily overcome this 3 point deficit and win a game on the road. And you have to imagine Montana's halftime pep talk is really going to be going after them for maybe playing a little too lackadaisical here tonight. Even though they've played well overall, they're letting Tennessee get some baskets that they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think right now the biggest thing is that Williamson and Sutters have been pretty cool as of late, as well as St. Croix. I mean, offensively, they just haven't been able to get anything going here in this game.
Well, I think the biggest difference is that not Rendall, Birdie Lavoy Williams, 2 for 7. That's more misses than I think Birdie had yesterday as a whole. You know, Birdie, I think Tennessee made a big change on how they're approaching the Kangaroo on defense, and it's having an impact. And, it's going to be on Birdie and the rest of the team to figure out how they can unlock the Kangaroo and who's going to step up if they can't. Whereas, Tennessee, some of the players are still struggling. Selby has only taken one shot the entire game and had 3 turnovers. Maybe a little some cramps from game one lingering in game two here. Uh, and, even then, the starters haven't really been a big scoring threat outside of, Aldrich and River. And even then, you see River hasn't even been in the game that long, only 9 minutes. Put up 8 points, though.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what they're going to be looking for is to possibly look at River to get more of those minutes as the game goes on, but also the second unit really kind of holding their own as well, with Bivens having 8 points as well. Savoy also having 7 points with the 8 minutes that he has so far, and that's kind of been one of the biggest opportunities for the Moonshiners to really kind of stay into this game. But if they're able to clean things up in the turnovers, this could be a very, very different story compared to game one. As right now, Sutters is able to draw the foul against River, and that'll be his first personal. So Sutters will go on the line for two.
Yeah, Sutter's also been fairly quiet, like I said tonight, compared to game one. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see in the second half how the starters for both teams, are they able to pick it up and make more of an impact as they're expected to play out this game, especially if it's close. Last game, Montana started to play a little loose in that fourth quarter because they had such a big lead. And, it's easy to make the basket, seems twice as big when you're up by 20, but when the game's close, it seems to shrink just a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about the mental game here as Tennessee is able to go ahead and get the score here to cut it deficit back down to 3. But of course, they need to get those much important stops here as Montana is not going to get the possession. So Kierkegaard does get the board as Creer getting the quick screen, trying to find a way to get into the paint, but his defender is matching the speed. Doesn't decide to pull it back. Gets the switch. And right now he has to pull it up, trying to find a way to outrun his defender, and he is able to do that with that basket there, and they're only down by 1. So far, Tennessee able to get the steal here. Very rare turnover there for the Howlers. We'll see if the Moonshiners are able to go ahead and take advantage of that as Creer hands it over to River. River trying to make some moves. Says dish over to Kane. Got a screen there from River. And Kane going for a mid-ranger, but River goes ahead and cleans it up after the miss. And Tennessee once again gets the lead.
Yeah, very, very close game, back and forth.
Yeah, right now, Lavoy Williams looking to try and be the spark in the second half. Remember, he went hot game one, so don't be surprised if they try to rely on him a little bit as the game goes on. But Sutters is able to go ahead and take the lead right back over to the Howlers end with that mid-ranger. And right now, Selby passing it over to Burger Kane. Kane trying to get the quick drive as he hands it over to Creer. Creer tried to pass it into the paint to Kierkegaard, but St. Croix is able to go ahead and get that steal as Cross hands it over to Lavoy Williams. Williams going for the mid-range, and it's good. So right now, Bertie Lavoy Williams starting to wake up a little bit as River tries to lay it up, and it's not going to be good as Sutters once again gets the board.
Yeah, Montana looking to carry themselves to a bit of a lead. And quick pass to Sutters. Talk about Sutters being quiet, but he is absolutely making a statement now in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and right now he is just making River look like an absolute fool so far as he's able to draw the foul against him to get a chance for an old school 3-point play. So right now, Sutters is able to do just that as Montana now up by 6, 62-56, as we just passed the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. And right now, we get a quick dunk there from Selby, as Selby is just starting to get a little bit tired of this, as he's able to dunk it down, trying to get his own offense going. And right now, Lavoy Williams trying to do the same thing as he misses the mid-range as Kierkegaard does get the board. And now Tennessee has a chance to cut the deficit down even more as Burger Kane tries to lay it up, and it's not going to be good. Williamson with the rebound. And he hands over to Sutters. Sutters has been pretty hot, but he does lose the ball there as Burger Kane gets to be able to pick it up. Kane passes it over to River. River laying it up, and it's good. So right now, that seems to be the big battle here is between River and Sutters as they're both now starting to wake up in the second half.
Yeah, like I said, a battle down on the post. I think St. Croix, they could go back to starting to foul her, trying to attack her in the post, but it's been Sutters in this game too that's starting to make an effect. Ooh, foul on Williamson. Gonna send, I think, Lucas to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge get there for Burger Kane as he does go on the line to possibly tie this game up. Some really good effort there for Tennessee and putting the pressure on them as they do get a chance to possibly tie this up with these 2 baskets. First one does go down. And so does the second one. So the game is now once again tied up 62 apiece. It's a very great effort here for Tennessee. We'll see how the Howlers respond as St. Croix goes over to Lavoy Williams, who dunks it in. Very nice dish there from the center to Lavoy Williams. Really trying to get him to start waking up as we are just close to the halfway point of the third quarter.
Yeah, neither team really slowing down their pace. I mean, we've seen a little bit of a lead build for Montana, but Tennessee has not been willing to let it stay for long.
That's something you really want to see. As Selby's able to get the interception. Selby hands it over to River. Again, River going up against Croix. Instead, dishes it over to Selby. Selby loses the ball there as Williamson is able to pick it up.
Yeah, I was going to give props to Selby on that defensive play because he knew he would have no chance of actually boxing out, guarding the post against St. Croix, so the only option was to steal the ball, but they weren't able to convert. It's in fact going to be after the next turnover. Weber going to get it to fall, the second-year player.
Yeah, now, once again, the Shiners able to tie things back up, 64 apiece. And right now, Williamson trying to find a way to get into the paint, but is guarded very, very well. Have to go for a tough mid-ranger, and it hits the side of the rim as Selby does get the rebound. And now, River getting guarded pretty well. And instead, Weber has it. Weber passes over to River, who passes it quickly to Creer. And now Weber gets the rock once more. Weber trying to go for a quick spin move. This is the River who dunks it down, taking the lead with force as River is now up 14 points into the game with that dunk.
Yeah, you saw Weber basically let the deer get a full head of steam before passing to him, just to let him absolutely lay down that dunk. As we see Lavoy Williams going to answer back with one inside the paint, as well as both teams tied at 66 here. I mean, I'm waiting to see who's going to blink first, because both teams are not backing down any which way.
Yeah, right now, both teams really trying to find a way to get some kind of edge over the other. As River going for a tough mid-ranger, and it's not going to be good here. So now Montana has a chance to go ahead and extend their lead once again. As Williamson dishes over to St. Croix, going for trying to go for that layup in the paint, but it's not going to be good. As River gets the board, Selby has it, and he tries to go for an underhook, but it's not going to be good there as it hits from under the rim. So now Montana has a chance to go ahead and dish it, as Don Brock is able to get the quick lay in after a nice dish there by Lavoy Williams. And we see a huge different summary, as we see a lot of lead changes, a lot of games tying, and we do get a quick timeout there. I believe that was on Tennessee. So we get a final chance to get a little bit of a break here between these two as they try to go ahead and see what their next move is. So yeah, this is a much, much different story here compared to what it was by this point in game one.
Yeah, again, the second quarter, last game really set the tone for the rest of the game, and in this one they've been able to keep it so close and so tight. It's not even been like they've had to make a comeback, but now we are seeing both teams bring their bench out. You know, I'm not even going to say I think both teams have played so well from the bench tonight that we might go into the fourth quarter, game still tied here. Neither team has really stepped up, and there's a great alley-oop to Blackburn.
Blackburn getting that nice alley-oop pass for that easy dunk to go ahead and take the lead once again. So right now, Moonshine is going to have to do whatever they can for the second unit. As Lady Black tries to do the same thing as Baptiste lays it up. Not a dunk, but still a good conversion nonetheless for that alley-oop attempt. Now Yamashita hands it over to St. Martin. Martin gets the screen, got a smaller defender, and is not able to get that mid-range shot down, as Tennessee is looking to possibly take the lead once again. And now Kane. Get a nice screen as Kane gets blocked there by Blackburn. And Blackburn getting the basket for his troubles as he's able to get those two. So now Montana, once again, with the lead. We'll see how the Moonshiners respond.
I was going to say, can we even call it a lead right now? Anything under 10 points in this game just does not seem to be significant.
Yeah, for sure, but they are going to get the stop there from Adams. Blackburn doing a really good job here as Roth is able to go ahead and get the points of his own. And now they're up by 4. And now Lady Black hoping to try and get the Shiners back into the offensive well after failing the last 2 possessions. Lady trying to go for the shot, and she gets fouled there by Yamashita, and she gets a chance for a 3-point opportunity. Yamashita is just just
beside himself
right
at
all. Yeah, completely dumbfounded, and now Tennessee's able to get that 3-point play. So now they're only down by 1. And if they get a stop here, they could potentially take the lead once again. As Yamashita hands over to St. Martin, and Martin not able to get it down as Bivens gets the rebound. So right now, it looks like the Tennessee bench is looking to be a lot more competent compared to Montana's bench, but they're not able to get the basket this time. As Blackburn's able to go ahead and dunk it down.
Let's not talk about competency when you have the Blackburn on the floor and able to rip the rim off the hoop at the rate he's going.
Yeah, right now Blackburn really using a lot of his size to his advantage. Meanwhile, Lady Black is being guarded by Blackburn, so decides to switch over to Savoy. Savoy laying it up, and it is going to be good. So Russell had a really good first half in this game, is trying to continue that for this half here, as we're only less than 2 minutes left of the third quarter. We get a quick foul there on Bivens, as Montana has a chance to extend the lead again with these next 2 baskets.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the way this game is shaping up, it might just come down to who has the last opportunity to score. That might be who wins this game with how close both teams have been able to keep it here.
Yeah, both teams are showing grit for grit, really showing why these two made it to the finals, as Roth is not going to make the second one. So Tennessee is only going to be down by 2 with this possession, as Adams does get the screen. Lady is trying to get the quick pass, but to go over to Bivens. Bivens getting the quick drive, going for the mid-range, and it's good. So the Howlers and the Shiners are tied 77 apiece, as we're getting into the final minute of this quarter. And so far, very exciting times here. Then we get a quick pass there from Yamashita, and we get over to Blackburn. Blackburn is going to go for that mid-ranger, and it's not going to go down there, as Black does get the rebound, as now the Shiners once again has a chance to take the lead, as Bivens gets the screen from Luther. Bivens going for a long 2, but it's not going to go down this time, as Martin does get the rebound. Roth looking to pass it over to Rindal. And over to Yamashita. And over to Roth. Trying to get that quick drive, and it is going to be good there, as Montana once again back up by 2. Back and forth these two teams go.
Yeah, the Hawk barely able to get around the Jackalope, but able to lay it up and in with the finger roll. And, you know, Montana will potentially have the final chance for a half-court shot, but now it's Tennessee. They want to tie it here. They want to go into the final 12 minutes tied. Not able to, though.
Yeah, another miss there by Lady Black, and so we get a nice half-court heave, but it's not going to be good. So Montana, once again, entering this quarter only up by 2, 79-77.
Yeah, far
now,
too... Go ahead.
I will say that with how this game is going, this really kind of goes to show why it has been very difficult for the team with the home advantage to keep it after the first 2 games against this Moonshiner team, because they have really been on all cylinders so far, as Adams laying it up and tying it up once again.
Yeah, this is the Tennessee we were expecting to see in Game 1, and I'm going to go ahead and blame it on the Montana having extra days off, more time to rest and recover, and now Tennessee able to make the adjustments they need to, that they saw they needed to make in Game 1 is right there. 6-point was the largest lead. We've had 14 ties and 13 lead changes, and honestly, we probably will have another 5 to 10 more ties before this game comes to an end.
You think we're gonna hit 20 ties? As we get a quick foul there on Adams with the charging foul, so Montana will be able to get the ball back. So really good opportunity to really extend this lead here, as Yamashita tries to hand it over into the paint, but Blackburn had no choice but to try and grab it and get and is able to draw the foul against Selby. So we'll see the possible extension for the Howlers if these 2 baskets go in.
Yeah, now this would be a good time for Selby to really step it up, and he's been quiet in this game. Other players have been able to hold up, but now I think is a great time for him to. The defense is starting to become a little laxer on him. Their focus is being shifted elsewhere. This would be the time for the Rabbit to absolutely explode and help pull them back and pull them ahead here, especially from beyond the arc. In Game 1, Tennessee was very active from beyond the arc, and it worked for them.
Yeah, speaking of, Bivens going for 3, and he's able to rattle it home. as he now ties this up 82 apiece.
That's one more. I told you. I'm going to keep counting. I'm calling it 20. We're going to hit 20 for the game.
All right, this is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting one. We still have plenty of time left, so it can happen. As Luther able to get the quick block, and now Tennessee has an opportunity to perhaps take this lead change. As Selby tries to lay it up, not gonna get it down though, as the defense collapsed on him very quickly. A lot of pause in his face. So right now we get to see a quick mid-ranger there, as Yamashita is able to get his 6 points of the game.
Been much more active on the assist side, struggling a bit from the field itself, but you know, even assists have big value in terms of being able to produce points.
Yeah, right now, Lady trying to go for the quick drive up against Blackburn, and that was not going to go any sort of way for her, as Montana has the rock this time. Yamashita trying to go for the mid-range, and it's going to go in and out. But Blackburn is going to able to get bounced off of another defender, so it will stay Howler's ball, as Baptiste is going to get subbed out for River.
Yeah, they're starting to bring in their starters. They need to do it. They need to bring their starters in. 9.5 minutes left to go. You know, they've had Selby and Kierkegaard in for a bit longer. You know, they're going to be a little bit more tired as the time runs down. But with how close this game is, they need to push through. They need the win here. Is Birdie going to get the bucket?
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be a really big game here for the Shiners, as they have never been in a situation where they were down 0-2 throughout this run, as River tries to go ahead for a mid-ranger, but it's not going to go down, as Williamson has the rock, gets the screen by Blackburn. Trying to look for something, as right now Williamson gets blocked there by River. Really good defensive effort there by River, as right now Lady finds Kierkegaard wide open in the paint and lays it up and in. Way too easy there, as it seems like that matchup against Blackburn is going to be a much more manageable, as the Howlers going to have to call timeout here.
Yeah, Howlers really can't afford to, you know, let Tennessee find any kind of lead here. Montana is looking to make some adjustments. They need to They really need to avoid letting Tennessee stay so close in this game. They need to pull away and shut them out here.
100%. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. The main thing is that they're probably going to have to bring all of their starters in. Of course, we have just 8.5 minutes left of this game so far, but considering how this game has gone, I wouldn't be surprised if all the starters are going to come in. It looks like that's going to be the case, as we see Cross tries to go no, but Selby goes in for the reach-in foul, so it will be staying on the Howlers, but with 17 seconds left of the shot clock, as Cross ends over to Sutton. Sutton's able to duck it down.
Yeah, that's his 13th point here tonight, and like he was a bit of a spark plug in the second half to get it started, and then, you know, got benched and was able to rest up, and now see if he can keep that fire going. It's gonna be River. Ooh, hard block by St. Croix, but you know, fourth foul, 8 minutes to go, plenty of time. Gonna make River get it from the free throw line. Remember, he missed his first 2 of the game. That might come back to haunt them. You know, they could be going for a tie game right now had he made those first 2.
Yeah, that really kind of goes to show how important the charity stripe is in these type of situations, as River misses the first one.
Oh.
We'll see what happens with the second one, as he is able to get the second one down. If he missed both, I was going to blame you on that one.
I mean, I would accept it.
Yeah, 100%. But now Montana only up by 3. We'll see if they have it to a 2-possession game with this, as We get a quick a blocking foul on Kierkegaard. That's an interesting call there. It looked like more of a reaching foul, more
Well,
so
I
than a blocking foul.
I was gonna
But
say either way, it's not a shooting foul, so that is probably for the best.
yeah, for sure. But right now, we get to see Lavoy trying to lay it up, but gets ripped out of the pause as Burger King is able to get the steal, and Kierkegaard laying it up, and it's going to be good. So now Tennessee's only down by 1 once again.
Yeah, and Montana can't afford these wasted possessions. We've seen a couple fouls result in them having to redesign the play with a shorter shot clock.
Yeah, right now, Lavoy hands over to Cross. Not much time left on the shot clock as he lays it up, and it's not going to be good as Kierkegaard once again gets the rebound. So now we get a nice dish over to Selby for 3, and it rattles on in, and now Tennessee is up by 2. We only got 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Howlers need to make a statement here, or else Tennessee once again gets a chance to tie things up as we go over. But right now, Montana not able to get it down this time.
Yeah, Tennessee a chance to build that lead, and like I said, if they walk away with the game win night, that's a tie 1-1 series with them in home court advantage. And the pressure's starting to build for Montana now.
Yeah, 100% is now Kane going for 3, and it's not going to go down as Lavoy Williams does get the rebound. So we will see a possible tie-in as we do see Sutters able to go ahead and get that mid-range. Really good alley-oop pass there as Montana now ties it up once again, and the crowd is going insane so far for the Furs in white.
Yeah, and to go back to the last possession for Tennessee, Burger King almost lost the ball there. That's why that three-point shot was so rushed. He was wide open. The ball got sent to him like a rocket, and he lost his finger. It bounced off of his paws into the air. So he had to pull it down and take the shot. And the fact that he even got it as close as he did was amazing. But a big block, able to stop them, and now Burger King on defense stepping up.
And that's really kind of been the big thing as Kierkegaard loses the ball there. And once again, Montana has a chance to take this turnover and possibly tie this game once again as the boy Williams.
I'm surprised they didn't call for a kick ball there, but I'm guessing maybe it was off the tail. But tie game. That's number 3, Marcus. Only 2 more to go, and we'll have 20.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, Reiber trying to go for the quick shot, and it's not going to go down this time. So the Howlers have a chance to take this lead once again as Williamson trying to find a lane, got into the paint, going for the shot, and it's not going to be good there as John is able to go ahead and get that rebound. Some good defense from him. And now Creer going along the arc. Passes it over as Sutters is able to get that turnover, and once again they have a chance to extend the lead. And right now Williamson hands it over to Cross. Cross dishes to Lavoy. Lavoy getting the easy basket there as he drives into the paint. So right now some great possessions here from Montana offensively, but Tennessee has not been able to slow down in their own right. As now the crowd, once again, getting deep into it, yelling defense with 4 minutes left of the game so far. And now, not a lot of time left on the shot clock, and it does not matter as they tie it up once again. Creer with 10 points so far, 8 of them in the paint, really living in that space.
Yeah, Jean Ferdinand putting up double digits here tonight, and big dunk from Birdie, and Tennessee has to call timeout. That's Birdie's 20th point here tonight. After struggling in the first half, he has come alive in this second half.
Birdie Erdy waking up right here, especially with that ferocious dunk to take the lead, as right now it is becoming going down to the wire. They need him to step up, and he's doing just that as he does hit 20 points.
Yeah, and I mean, it is an absolute back and forth game. No way we can call it either way at this point. I mean, it is so close, and You know, Tennessee an opportunity to tie it up here and get me to that 20 uh, ties this game and prove me right. Or, they can even take the lead if they want to go for three.
Yeah, 100%. And right now, Tennessee is going to go on the line here as Sutters gets called for the foul here, and the crowd's not helping it. But if there's any player you want to see take those free throws to give you that tie-in, it is Selby. And Selby is going to make the first one. We'll see what happens with the second one. Right now, Selby is going to make the second one, so we have the 20 ties, as you said. So now we'll see how the Shiners are able to get a stop here to perhaps take the lead, and they are going to do that as Stutter's able to clean up the miss. Do you think we'll make it to 25 before the end of this game?
I mean, if we go to overtime, maybe, but we see Lady Black brought in, trying to change up the pace even a little bit. As she is not able to make that bucket, though it rattled around the entire rim.
Yeah, for sure. Now Cross has the rock. And the crowd's going really quiet here as they try to make sure that they get all the focus as St. Croix is able to lay it up and in, and the Shiners will have to once again call timeout as they're now down by 4 with 2.5 minutes left of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, Tennessee at this point, you have to be asking, like, okay, what changes do we need to make? Do we need to make any changes? A 4-point deficit is not hardly anything in this terms of game. A basket, a turnover, a basket. But missing opportunities is not something that can be in that playbook.
Yeah, 100% is now the Howler has a chance to extend it, and they do just that with that basket right there. And now you start having a little bit of concerns if you are the Moonshiners, as they're now just like that down by 6 as the crowd screaming defense as Lady trying to find her way back into the paint, but instead hands it over to Luther, who hands over to Selby, back over to Black. A lot of passing so far, trying to find some kind of open fur, but Burgundy just had to chuck it, and it's not going to be good there. Great defense there by Montana, and another failed possession there for the Shiners. So far, this is looking like the Montana's game as we get another lay-in from Birdie. As we see the difference here, our 78% field goal percentage in the second half compared to the 30% that we saw in the first half for Birdie. And now the crowd is all over the place as Selby does try to quiet things down with that 3. Much needed there for the Moonshiners.
Yeah, that absolutely saved them. I would have considered the game over had that not been made. Now they need a stop. Defensive stop, a chance to make a bucket, and then another stop and another bucket, and then they can be in this game. And they get the first step done.
They do get the first step, and then they need to see if they can probably get another basket here. And right now, you have to imagine that Selby's going to have to turn up just to get his team back into this. But right now, Lady trying to go for that quick drive, but gets blocked there by Sutters as St. Croix gets the board. Croix has it over to Cross. And now Croix able to lay it up and in. And now they're up by 7 with less than a minute left of the game. And right now, Tennessee is going to be in desperation mode to try to find some kind of answer as Lady tries to drive right past the polar bear, but she is not having any of it as it gets blocked. And right now, Williamson go for the long 2, hits the side of the rim. Selby with the rebound once again. And I imagine that they're going to have to take a 3 here if they want to have a chance to get this game. But instead, we get an alley-oop dunk there to River as they're now down by 5, but I imagine they're going to call for a foul here, and they do just that.
Yeah, and even then, end of the day, this is almost certainly done. And the Howlers are going to call timeout because they want to make sure this inbound is solid. It's a 5-point game. Okay, you foul again. Even if they miss both free throws, you're still down by 2 possessions. You really have to. I don't want to say the game management at this point, but you're fouling, hoping they miss both free throws, hit a 3, fouling, hoping they miss 1 free throw, hitting another three. They have to miss 3 of the next 4 free throws, or you have to get a turnover.
Yeah, they're gonna. Well, in this case, it's going to be the free throws here, as the first one is going to be made. So they need to hope that the second one will not go in for Rindal. But it wouldn't matter as both does go in, and Tennessee's gonna have to call a timeout. But I imagine that that's pretty much game here, as Montana is able to hold it off as they're up by 7.
Yeah, that the path to victory now is so tight that there's no real wiggle room to make it. Uh, if the game clock was still even on, maybe, but and even then, you see they've substituted in their bench players. They really don't want to risk trying to injure someone and pushing in the last second, and that's going to be it. Montana, with the scoring flurry in the final minute of the game, manages to pull ahead by 7. That might be the biggest lead of the entire game, honestly.
I believe it is, as Montana is going to get the W as they win game number 2, 108 to 101.
And I mean, I don't think it was really necessarily any one player that dominated the scoring on Montana. Obviously, we talked about Birdie in the second half, absolutely came on fire. But Sutter's did as well. Sutter's putting up 17 points total. And I think Birdie ended up only putting up 22. And, compared to the 32-point night previously, that's a fair bit drop. Tennessee really did have Birdie under wraps, and it was the bench that absolutely carried Montana here. Blackburn, 15 points total, perfect from the field. The rookie Rendall, 11 points coming off the bench. Yamashita definitely struggled from the floor itself, but absolutely dominated in terms of handing out the assist. 7 assists total in only 16 minutes. Maybe not generating points on his own, but able to help assist others in making those easy baskets. And then for Tennessee, you know what? I appreciate the bigger spread of points. Kierkegaard, I think, needs to step up a little bit more. Again, he's very efficient, but he's been so focused on shutting down the post, as you see with, again, his 3 blocks and 2 steals, that, offensively he disappears at times, and he's been letting others step up. And, if they were winning the games, I wouldn't necessarily think that's something that needs to change. But right now, them down 2-0, there needs to be an adjustment on his part as well.
Yeah, 100%. And looking at the stats of this previous game, like we talked about how Tennessee's always able to take at least one game. Montana has never lost, has never had to enter on the road without their home court advantage. So that continues here for the finals, and now Tennessee is in a must-win situation at home, as they're dealing with something they haven't dealt with before this year, and being down 2-0. So this next game is going to be very, very important if they want to have a chance to bring a chip down to Tennessee.
Yeah, and I mean, momentum can swing their way. 2 wins at home, manage to come back and take game 5 on the road, and then come back home for the game 6 champion. That would be a great opportunity for them. But at the same time, you feel like the momentum is leaning the Howlers' way. Game 1 was definitely all them. Game 2, Tennessee absolutely showed up, and they made them fight for it. If we remove that last 60 seconds, it feels like Tennessee and Montana could have been a coin flip. And it probably was a coin flip in the end. Literally two missed baskets by Tennessee was enough to give the Howlers the victory here at the end. And stat wise, it's almost equal across the board, really.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that this really kind of goes to show how well the Moonshiners have been able to play throughout the entirety of these playoffs. But now they're entering a field that they've never been in at all within these playoffs, and that's being down 0-2. Now the question comes into, now that we're going to be swapping over to a different court, Tennessee will be having the home crowd on their side. How will the Howlers be able, what does the Howlers need to do to be able to show their dominance on the road against a Moonshiners team that is craving for another championship?
I mean, they need to ride their, momentum. They've built the momentum up. They understand, hey, we may not win both games on the road. Hey, we may not even win either game on the road. But as long as they're competitive and they put the pressure on Tennessee, uh, they have the opportunity to put up the 10th banner. I mean, obviously they want to win one of these two games. They want to, put Tennessee on the edge of elimination and make them have to fight back. I don't think we've ever really had a 3-0 comeback swing the other way in the finals, especially. You know, Tennessee is the underdog here. Unfortunately, Montana, and they need to shut out the media. You know, all that FSPN, all the analysts, all the talking heads on FSPN are going to be talking about, is Tennessee the underdog. They're a much better story in that sense than Montana, the 9-time champion, first ranked team in this conference. And they can't let themselves get in their own heads here as they go into Tennessee.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be a very interesting one as we are entering into must-win territory for the Moonshiners. I cannot wait to go over to Tennessee and see how that atmosphere is going to be like. It has been a very stellar game too, and I can't wait to see how things go from here.
Yep. Thank you all for tuning in. I've been Ryan Eastman. That was Marcus Baylor, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.